everyone to a Sacred Symbols reading. I'm your host, Desiree DeMars, and today is Friday, March 10th. And before I actually begin, I wanted to just read a few notes that I jotted down while listening to one of my most favorite astrologers about this week, what's going on this week, and also let everyone know that I'm going to shift the format a little to be in alignment or in sync with the full moon and the new moon. So I'll do 2 readings per month, and hopefully in between, if I'm going to put together some more of a teaching, little, just really short videos, maybe 10-15 minutes, about a specific piece or pieces or collection of pieces, so you can begin to understand in your own way, start to get a deeper understanding of the meanings of some of these pieces and how it might relate to you in a more intimate way rather than just only what I'm saying. Because I feel like often I'm, speaking to the collective, and then sometimes it doesn't resonate with you necessarily individually. And that's okay, but you'll have another level of understanding about the symbology and about the flexibility of the symbology, which I think is really important. It can have multiple layers and levels of meaning. But what I wanted to note was, because there's so much going on, that I wanted to bring this up so there would be this foundation for the reading. And maybe what would happen for you is you will begin to notice some of these themes, some of these effects already happening in your life and or to others in your life. So we had a Virgo full moon. We had a full moon in Virgo on the 7th, Tuesday, the 7th, and so we're in sync here. My intention with using the full and new moons would be to do the reading before, so that you have a heads up on what's going on, and but here we are. We're in the midst of it. So some aspects of a full moon in Virgo is purification, complete clearing and cleansing, not just on a superficial level, but in a really deep level, releasing old identities. And one of the outer planets, Sedna, which seems really important right now, is coming into consciousness. She was in the myth of the Intuit people, and she became like a goddess of the sea, of the deep icy sea. And I believe the key part of her story or of her myth was that she was in a canoe with her father, and they got caught in a storm, and unfortunately her father, I don't know, it would be interesting to understand more about the history of this person or this creature, because when she fell out of the canoe, and when she tried to cling onto the canoe to save her life, he chopped off her fingers. And when she fell from the canoe, and her fingertips fell down to the icy bottom, they became the magical creatures of the sea, the fish, the dolphins, the whales. And so, I guess one of the lessons is, not to hold on to what we think our life is about or what life is about, and instead to let go. So, there was a blessing in the story, but it didn't come in such a great, through such a great experience. So that's the Piscean kind of energy, and Virgo. Now, we also have Wednesday, the 8th, Saturn went into Pisces, and this is a longer term influence, but I just wanted to point out what these aspects are tapping into or affecting. And it has to do with bones, teeth, linear time, which of course I love that. It's about bones, linear time, traditions, and focus, right? That's Saturn. Now, Pisces is the exact opposite. And there's an aspect of distrust, dissolution, but of course, still flow, having to go with the flow. For those of you following Veda Austin's work, and we're talking about water and primary water, this has to do with primary water. And Pisces, of course, has to do with the blood or the immune system. So just know that these are some deep influences going on right now in this transitioning, this changing world that we live in. And anyway, without further ado, I just wanted to lay that as the groundwork for the reading today. To just have that in the back of your mind as we go into creating a sacred circle together. I'm not even going to try to use the overhead camera. I'm going to have somebody look at it before I do that again, because I was really frustrated last week, and I apologize if anybody saw my unedited version of the introduction to my reading last week. A couple friends of mine did, and they said it wasn't very pleasant. Well, they said it was humorous, but then not so humorous as it went on. And then I wanted to also just say, as a reminder for us to all bring in this sense of the sacred surrounding us, so that it's more than just what we're creating here in the circle of the reading. And in fact, that's what I'm doing when I make an offering before the reading. I used blue corn and tobacco and other things that I collect along the way. And just know that this circle extends out beyond linear time. Okay, so think of us bringing that divine white light down from the heavens and anchoring us, because it's always there. But allow that energy to flow and ground you, to anchor you to the center of the earth. And allow that grounding to help you take a deep breath in. And if you can, if you're sitting up or in a position where your feet can touch the ground, barefooted or in your socks, all the better. Just feel yourself grounding and connecting to the center of the earth, right through your central channel. And then feeling as that energy flow has its own, its own course, its own cycle of fulfillment, feel that energy flowing back up. And as it comes up, it ignites your base chakra, right? That iron molten core, that center point of vitality. It activates your vitality, the iron in your blood, right? In your hemoglobin, your immune system. See, everything is connected. They're not just words willy-nilly, let's throw them here and there. They just naturally are. They're naturally connected. And so are we. This is the remembering of our connection to our ancestors, to our superconscious field of awareness. And so feel all of your chakras now being activated, so that all of your chakras are open, fully functioning, front and back, balanced and aligned. And as they open and amplify this energy up, it flows all the way out through the top of your head, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and white, again spilling out over the top of your head like a fountain that is infinite and eternal. And feel the chakra spinning both front and back, expanding out, up and down. Just returning this power, this internal power that's connected to Source, back to you in this moment. And as this is happening, allow an intention to flow up into your heart, And when you feel that connection in your heart, this emotional energy center, that is related to the chakras too. Joy, peace, and strength at the third chakra, courage at the heart, gratitude, humility, and divine love. So bringing all of that into the sacred circle here now, knowing that your heart is open, receiving an inquiry for you that is not only connected to your heart, but aligning with the mind, right? Aligning with the mental planes and bringing coherence to this human body that you're resting in. So now all of this is happening on multiple dimensions. You can just let it go and let it flow. Right, and all the mental stuff that we brought in, just allow that to unfold in its own intelligence, its own pace, right? Its own sense of beingness. And then let us imagine that we are now calling in all these forces that we are here to work in unison with, right? And co-create with. All of the directions, the east, the south, the west, the north, above, below, and the middle. All of the elementals, earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrinos, gammas, and all those elements still unknown to man. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. I heard a beautiful man speak, an aeronautical engineer at one time. He now puts all of his energy into this, to helping people with healing and water, the intelligence of water, quintone water, which was a discovery or a development of a scientist who no longer lives, but this work is carried out through this water, through this healing water, which is from the deep sea. It's the essence of seawater, these quintones. And so just imagine, these are things that we don't really understand completely yet, but we are learning, we are getting information. Salacia and Sedna, these two outer planets, are both feminine and both about the water. One is about like the mermaid energy, the light sparkling on the water. So think of that. Think of things that bring truth and beauty to you when you think of the elements, when you think of these colors. Think of the beauty behind them and the magic that you know. You know, it's said that when the sunlight is shining or the moonlight is shining down as it rises up, right, at sea level, or it's sinking down, and there's that moment where there's a straight path of light. We can walk that path and walk into the sun or into the moon. Think of it as a path of light that invites you, right? Invites you to merge with it, invites you to receive its energy, wisdom, and guidance. So come and be with us, all of our guides, angels, teachers, guardians, the seen and the unseen, right? The magical, the mystical. Allow yourself to be in the state of innocence, of awe and wonder, to receive the beauty of these words on multiple dimensions, more than just the word that is spoken, but the vibrational frequency of them. And with gratitude and appreciation, we call in, come and be with us. Sit beside us in the sacred circle, all of our ancestors. All of our ancestors, those who've gone before us, lived a good life, transcended, and are now here working on our behalf as we put forth with courage this inquiry about something that we would like to see manifest in our future or in this present moment. Come and be with us, all those who've gone before us, and to all those whose names we do not know, but whose blood runs through our veins. Come and be with us, those working on these higher dimensions for the greatest and best of all, for all, the highest of all, however that resonates with you, right? For the best of all, involved. So that this energy of receiving is not just a receiving, but it's a giving as you become the giver, right? By your beingness, that you are this wisdom carrier, right? Allow that energy. It's a flow, it's a give and take. So feeling that energy expanding our sacred circle and creating this deep sacred space for our reading. So now allowing the sound, just a few seconds of the rattle, to deepen the alpha and the theta states. And just know in a second something can change, right? Something can shift in just a second. So just allowing the beauty in that sound of the rattle to shift your brainwave frequencies just enough, right, to create a new level of sacred energy in this inquiry that you have. So together we're going to blow into the bones together 3 times. Using that I am principle, your intention, your clear intention, the attention of your breath, blowing it into the pieces, and then allowing for the movement of these pieces to show us a flow here, right? Or that we can follow the breadcrumbs, right? We can follow the breadcrumbs. And let me see, I noticed last time, the unfortunate thing about the computer, doing it on the computer, is that then it's at an angle, and I got some of the computer in there last time. I'm going to try to do my best to keep most of it out. And here we go. Wow. Wow. That was fascinating. I hope you caught that. It was like this whole chunk wanted to come out together, and it really didn't want to move out of the basket. So just noticing that, and then anything else that speaks to you personally. This is where you would be sitting if you were live with me having a reading, which, by the way, I love doing one-on-one readings, and they're very powerful, very accurate, I will say. They always blow me away. I think I kind of have a sense of understanding when I see them, and then the story that unfolds is just absolutely mind-boggling. You just can't make it up. But again, I guess maybe we are making it all up, right? Maybe we're making it all up. And so this is why it's giving us the exact information that we need for this inquiry or this question or this area we want to explore. What's beautiful is here we have a little timekeeper here closest to you. And it's a little entry point here. Here's the mental, the air element, the eye of God, the 2, co-creation, and the horse moving forward into the reading, into the sacred circle. So that's really beautiful. And the rest of most of the pieces are in the circle today. We've got one out here, a pointer, which is just pointing back in. And this little guy, that which is not yet created, is kind of hanging out on the edge. But same with these pieces, right on the edge. And then just a couple here. We have talking stick and the great mystery. And it's something internal. That's where you're going to find this answer. Like if you've got a great mystery, it's inside. It's inside you. It's already inside you, right? It came. It was part of the package with you coming in, right? This soul light, this star seed. It was part of the package. And so this is what I love about my BQH hypnosis work is when we do regression or someone starts to have a memory from a past life or about a past life. It's amazing, this information and how it is so interwoven, interconnected, and gives us just the most divine guidance when we're seeking resolution or a deeper level of understanding about something in our life. So, very close to that, to those two pieces, we've got the intention, the inquiry here, and this large piece of coral. We have the shaman sitting at its feet. It's also resting on the piece that is called rebirth. So it's like you're having a rebirth right now. And what is under there? Oh, and the piece that's under that is it's a buffalo tooth, right? And buffalo is about provisions. So just know that medicine within you, you are your own shaman, you are your own medicine, or maybe it's me today. The words that are being spoken are the medicine that you needed to hear. And so this is giving us the opportunity to reflect on our power, on our ability to create, ability to be a creator. This is second chakra, right? And ability to open up our third eye. Look at Buddha is resting on the back of Eagle Condor, looking into this another level of the circle or the spiral. I see it going around like this and coming right to actually Eagle Condor is right at center with this idea of innocence. Innocence being a part of the foundation of our blueprint. Yes, and sometimes there's the fog, there's the shadow, and usually it is there to support us in slowing down, right? Or taking a second look. We've got a couple ancestors here, a young adult on your mother's side, the maternal side, and the great ones, greats, great grandparents, great greats, and the great great greats. And they are key here. Oh my gosh, look at that lock and a key. I tell you, there have been some configurations now I just haven't seen in years of doing this. It's so fascinating. The lock and the key, there they are together. This, to me, seems very significant. So take note of that. The great ones on your mother's side. Think about anybody or make an offering to the great ones on in your family lineage because they hold the key, and there's also something that's hidden, right? Locked up, unknown, and it has to do with your third eye, right? And just know you're protected. Ask for protection and guidance. So this is something that why I'm thinking I'd like to address maybe, once a month or every other week around new and full moons in between is just to share teachings. I've had 25 plus years of experience in shamanic journeying and shamanic healing and ceremony and initiation. And I feel many of us have kind of were robbed of that, right? We never had initiations when we were young. Sometimes the initiations we had were like the hard luck kind, that's the way it went. But not because of, the love and support of our community, shining their love and light on us as we made our passages through very significant times in our life as a human. Right. And so this is what we're seeing here. This little deer toe tip is about home. So there's also, connected to our blueprint is this idea of home. Where is home? And where is home within you? Where is home within you? Not necessarily outside, although it may be. Many of us are seeking new homes. It's time to change, shift, or be with new families of frequency, not so much maybe our blood family or people we've considered to be our family. Maybe it's time to shift and move forward. And so just notice that. Pay close attention to, we have a double heart here. We have the heart chakra and we have the sacred heart of the soul, this sacred union of the heart, right? The sacred union with your own heart. To thine own self be true, right? And what is the other saying? It's like know thyself, right? That is the key to enlightenment, because just what I said at the beginning, it's not because we're better than or different than, it's just that it's a seed within each of us, right? This star seed, this brilliant seed of light, of the creative force of all that is within us. And the best thing we can do is recognize it within ourselves. And the more we recognize it within ourselves, the more we can see it in others, aside from all the BS, the belief systems and that kind of stuff, right? So I'm just going to move more quickly around here, but this is significant. Again, we've got the whole your mother's lineage, Pachamama, this idea of frequency, the angelics, and the beauty of, I believe it's abundance. Yes, this idea of abundance. I don't know how this was now, but here we have mother and grandmother on your mother's side. So that's beautiful. Grandmother, grandfather, mother, mother, grandmother, your mother's mother, grandfather, I'm sorry, I keep saying grandmother, grandfather, resting on the angelic, on the wings of the angels, and the grandmother, your mother's mother. And here's your father, mother and father. I know this is I'm getting chills now, very significant. So just notice this, as we've entered in with that information, mother, father, grandfather, great grands, right? And our star nations. It's all about family, this family of light, this family of the star seed that we are, the star beings, the star nations. And when you find yourself at a fork in the road, this is interesting. We've got clear sailing here, could be anything. This is just pointing back. We've got throat chakra and crown chakra. I'm getting chills when I say it. Just so, when you're feeling at a fork in the road, I just, take a moment to take a breath. Let your throat relax. That was good for me. And open the crown. Here, this is where the downloads are coming from. So here you are. Today, Uranus, right next to Uranus. Well, can we get reminded anymore? Things are going to happen sudden and unexpectedly. Here you are next to the other or another, someone in relationship to you in some way. And what's interesting about the other, what's resting on them is the ancient women on their father's side, the ancient paternal women. Yeah, very interesting. And we've got Bear saying, introspection is important. When we get hit, we get slammed, just take a moment again to take a breath, to receive it on more than one dimension. And just know some of what we are downloading now is the seed, or just the beginning of that which is not yet created, but it is the start, right? That's what this Aquarian age is all about. It's just the start. We're just getting into it. And a lot of this stuff is being amplified right now. So just pay attention to what truth, love, and beauty is to you. Your Venus, anything Venusian for you, that's important. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to stop for a moment and smell the roses, right? Sit for a moment in beauty. Everything is acknowledged in beauty. And here's our other little timekeeper. Remember I said the timekeeper was here by you, and it's all the way on the other side of the circle. So, we're talking like something that we're seeing here now unfold is a long-term thing. And this time frame, I'm getting chills just thinking of it. So just know some of what's being reflected here is maybe just insight for things that are still yet to come and come in long term. This return of our power, the return to our heart center, to being in alignment with the heart of the planet, Gaia. This is the drum. And here is the collective, kind of like wait, and you might feel that way. I heard another astrologer this week just say, I'm having a really hard time staying organized this week. And then she was giving a presentation, which was really beautiful, but I could really relate to that. It was like every time I sat down, I could start and I had a good sense of flow and what I wanted to accomplish. And I would get so far, and then it would just be like, it was just dissipate. So just notice that, because I would say around that thought, we have our work in the world, and the great ones on your father's side. There's just a lot of emotion here, right? So maybe just a beautiful wish that these emotions that come in and scatter our focus, they are meant to be. They're a part of the process. They're a part of the unfolding and a part of the life's work, the work that we're doing in the world, which is reconnecting with the divine feminine. I know that's kind of an old woo-woo sounding saying, but it is true. I would encourage anybody that really wants to understand the significance of the collective wound that we are all carrying is the church's systematic slaughter of women for hundreds of years, which amounted to millions, we don't even know how many, women and children who win the witch hunts. So, you might think, oh, only the women got it, but the men were a part of that unbalancing. And we've been living that unbalancing, that taking. They're the takers. So, men, you are living in the wound of being the taker. That's the healing you have to go through. And for both of us, men and women, we're having to balance that out, right? How does the feminine aspect of any of us come back into power, back into balance, knowing that masculine part of all of us is the taker? And it took and unbalanced things. And this is why, you still have people creating wars and kids learning how to play war games and think that violence is normal. Yeah, so be it. Notice that if you are a young parent or thinking of parenting, how might you educate your children about the truth of this collective wound that we're all carrying right now? This is why things are falling apart in the masculine field, right? Because it's gone completely out of balance. That's Saturn. So here's your grandfather resting on Saturn. What is it about your vision, a new vision? So beautiful. It's like resting on a star here, right? The vision, this little abalone piece that represents like a Merkaba, right? A seed, a new beginning, right? The code, the code of the vision that you want to create. And here it is coming right into the inquiry. So what is your vision for the future that would bring balance again to the masculine and feminine on earth, so that we might have balance, that we might have beauty, a return to beauty instead of this slaughter, this, I don't know if it's eighth or what number it is, but mass extinction, this mass extinction of creatures, of insects, of the creepy crawlers, of these incredible life forces that are here on the planet to keep things in balance, and we are slaughtering them. We're spraying DDT. We're still spraying Roundup. Oh God. We're now drinking Roundup. For all you wine drinkers, it's in 90%. I probably 100%. How could it be 90%? It's in the wine you're drinking. It's in everything. They're finding it at the bottom of the ocean. So we are doing our best to understand and bring new technology forward. This is what's coming into play at the very core of this reading is community is of the essence, right? Connect to community. It will help us as our DNA makes a transfiguration here. We're going through huge transformations. One person, we can't even imagine all the transformation that is simultaneously happening as things are falling apart. And at the center here, we have the ancient ones, the men, the masculine energies on your mother's side, the ancient men on your mother's side here at the center. And again, here is grandmother on your father's side. So we are going through physical changes. It's absolutely true. I don't know anybody, if you're not going through a physical change, I think you're living under a rock. I can't imagine that you're living in these times and you are feeling nothing physically. Because even if you're not aware of it, these chemicals are affecting your DNA. So we're going through a huge transfiguration on multiple levels. So is the earth. And these are why these earth changes are happening. But, one step forward, this is what we have to do. Take the energy that you do have, move one step forward, make a wish about home, your greater home, the planet Earth, and that you are a cosmic citizen, the cosmos. This is representative of the cosmos, this offering here. So here we are coming into, looking out into the future, looking out into the potential, the possibilities, and know that it's all within us. We are having to be responsible. We are having to be responding to what is calling forth, these trying times. And respond we must. Yeah, either that or you check out. There's a lot of people checking out. And so, maybe even parts of our body want to just check out because it can't function. So we have to bring it back into balance, back into activity, back into productivity, and back into this essence of vitality, right? So, my friends, that was a lot said there, and I hope some of it was significant or helpful for you today. And I hope that the new format will be even more empowering, even more revitalizing, expansive for you, since our focus will be the energies of the new and full moons. And then hopefully the little bites that I hope to or plan to put in between those times will be educational on a level that you are able to see, feel, sense a greater level of understanding of the symbols, of the bones, right? And see the relevance of them in your day-to-day life. Maybe you'll be able to you'll get a little taste of what it's like to go through the initiatory process of learning this divination system. I'll just leave it at that. So thank you for joining me. Like and share, journal, take notes. Feel free to share with me anything that comes up. You can always email me. My email address is on my website, or you can text me. Let me know if some of it rings true, resonates for you, and unfolds in beautiful ways in your life. That's my hope. And that all those we come in contact with will be affected by this truth, this love, and this beauty. In full faith, so be it. Aho.